Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Jag here. In today's class, we're going to continue with our Math 9 contents on slopes. So with that, let's get started. Okay, so here we are. Okay, so let's try a couple of examples. So the first example we're going to look at is going to be, again, in terms of like graphing these different lines. Okay, so let's do an example here. So say again, I have y equals 2x plus 3. Okay, so I have to remember this is my slope. Okay, again, the slope is denoted with a small or lowercase m. The positive 3 here is indicative of my y-intercept. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I want to graph out this line. Okay, so let's do like a sketch here. Like really quick. If you do have graph paper, make sure you're using graph paper when you sketch this out. Okay, so what we're going to start off with is let's make some lines. This is 2. We'll just go up by 1. Okay. Again, you can take a, if you want to go up by 2s or 3s, okay, as a scale, that's up to you. What we're going to start off with is going to be positive 3. So this is the y-intercept, okay? So remember, this is actually the y-axis. Okay, so you're always starting off with the y-intercept when you graph it out. And let's just put some numbers here going across, okay? I have to remember this is the slope. It's 2, or it's equal to 2 over 1, okay? So let's just write down the definition of slope on the side here. So remember, the slope is equal to the rise divided by the run. Okay, so that's my definition. So if my slope here is 2 over 1, the rise is 2, positive 2. So right here from the y-intercept, I'm going to go up 2. So 1, 2. And the run I see is positive 1. So I'm going to go to the right by 1. Okay, and I'm going to make another dot right there. Does everyone see that? I'm going to join these two dots together. Make sure you are using a ruler here. Okay, and that's what my line looks like. Okay, right beside the line, you should be actually writing the equation. So we're writing y equals 2x plus 3. Everyone's good? All right, and that's all we're doing here, okay? And I noticed that the slope here is positive, okay? That's why the line is actually going upwards. If my slope was negative, the line would be going downwards this way. Okay, does everyone see that? Okay, good. So let's try another example here. Let's try this one. So say now I have y equals negative 2 over 5x plus 6. Okay, so just like this. So again, what we're going to do is we're just going to sketch out like a quick graph here. And you notice, okay, in this case here, that the slope is negative. Okay, so my slope is negative 2 over 5. And this is my y-intercept, okay? Make sure you're taking the sign in front. So the y-intercept here is positive 6. Okay, so this is positive 6, okay, where I want to start off at. And let's make some numbers on the y-axis as well. Okay, we're just going up by 1s here, okay? So this time, when you're graphing out this line, okay, I'm starting at positive 6. But I notice that my rise is negative 2. So I'm going to go down 2. So 1, 2. So I'm right at 4. Okay. And then the run is positive 5. So I'm going to go 5 to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to make a dot like right there. Everyone see that? Okay, so this point is actually at 5 and 4. Okay. And again, what I want to do is actually use my ruler. Okay, and make a straight line like this. Okay, if you do this actual line on graph paper, you'll notice that it's actually very accurate. Okay, and the reason again, because the slope here is negative, I can see the line is coming downwards. Okay, and the slope is not really a big number. Okay, so that's why it's not slanting too much in this example. Okay, so that looks good. Okay, are there any questions here? All right, good. So let's go to the next example, okay, that we're going to do. Okay, and this is going to be in terms of the x and y intercepts. So let's put example. It says to graph each line by finding the intercepts. So let's do one where we actually have to calculate it. So 5x minus 3y equals to 15. Okay, so now say I'm looking for the x-intercept. I'm going to substitute y as 0. So just like this. Okay, so let's rewrite the equation. So 5x minus 3y equals 15. And I'm going to substitute y as 0 into this equation. Becomes 5x minus 3 times 0, okay, equals 15. Everyone see that? Okay, so 3 times 0 is just equal to 0. Okay, so it's gone. I'm left with 5x equals 15. Okay, then we're going to divide it by 5 on both sides. Okay, so this 5 cancels out. And I see that x is equal to 3. Okay, the point I'm using here is going to be 3 and 0. Okay, and in the same sense, we're going to do the y-intercept, okay, on this side here. And the y-intercept is when x is equal to 0. Okay, so as long as you just remember these definitions here. So let's just rewrite the equation here. And what we're going to do is substitute the x as 0. So 5 times 0 minus 3y equals to 15. Okay, does everyone see that? So 5 times 0 is just equal to 0. I am left with negative 3y equals to 15. Okay, when you divide on both sides, make sure you are dividing by negative 3. Okay, so it cancels out here. And I see y is equal to 15 divided by negative 3, which is negative 5. Okay, make sure you're writing this as a point. Okay, the x is actually 0 in this coordinate, and the y is negative 5. Okay, so here I can see I have both my x-intercept, I also have my y-intercept, and the reason that we are using this method is so again that we can graph out this line. Okay, so let's draw our sketch here. And the point is the x and y intercepts are used to graph the line very quickly. Okay, so let's do this point first is 3 and 0. I'm going to make a dot. Okay, and 0 and negative 5 is the y-intercept. Okay, so I see negative 5 is down here. And again, whenever you are graphing out the line, I actually only need to have 2 points on this line. I don't need to find anything else. Okay, so what we're going to do is basically join these 2 dots together. Okay, and this is what my line looks like. Again, don't forget to write the equation right beside it. This is the line of 5x minus 3y. Okay, equals to 15. Okay, are there questions there? Good, that looks good. Okay, so with that, let's try this last example here. Okay, so I can see that we know how to do the x and y intercepts. Okay, so we're going to use the same graph here. Okay, and we're going to try and graph out this equation. Okay, so let's try this one. So 4x minus 8y equals 16. Okay, I want to do the x-intercept, so let's make y equal to 0. And you should always write out all your steps, okay? So just in case the teacher takes off any marks, I want to make sure I'm not losing any marks here, okay? So we're going to make y 0, so 4x minus 8 times 0 equals 16, okay? 8 times 0 is equal to 0, so I'm left with 4x equals 16. Okay, if you divide it by 4 on both sides, I see the 4 cancels out. X equals 16 divided by 4, which is equal to 4. Okay, and my point here is going to be 4 and 0. Is everyone good? Okay, these are good examples because we are getting whole numbers here. Okay, let's do the y-intercept. X is equal to 0. Okay, so in the same manner, I'm using my same equation here. This time, it's going to be 4 times 0 minus 8y equals 16. Okay, 4 times 0 is equal to 0, so I am left with negative 8y equals 16. Make sure you put the negative here. On both sides, I want to divide by negative 8, okay, which cancels out. And what we're left with is 16 divided by negative 8, okay, and this is equal to negative 2. Again, make sure you're writing it as a point. This is the y-intercept, so 0 and negative 2. Did everyone see that? So again, I can see I have my x-intercept, and then I also have my y-intercept right here. Okay, and we're going to graph it on this same graph here, okay? So our x-intercept here is 4 and 0. So I'm going to just put 4 and 0 right here, okay? And the y-intercept is 0 and negative 2. Okay, so you can see I just drew out, or I just plotted these 2 points for the x and y-intercept, okay? And now all you're going to do is, again, just connect these dots together. Okay, it's really important that you are using a ruler, okay, to do that. And this is the reason that you should be writing the equation right beside the line, okay, just in case you are graphing 2 lines at the same time, okay? And so let's write our line, or the equation right here. So 4x minus 8y equals 16, okay, which is this line right here, okay? And you notice both of these examples that we did, okay? So they are in the standard form here, okay? But again, it's partially the standard form, okay? In the standard form, everything should be actually on one side of the equation. And the equation should actually be equal to 0, okay? I can always change the standard form into the slope-intercept form, okay? As you see, like when we graph it, okay, it's good to know the slope-intercept form. It tells you what the slope is right away, and whether or not the slope is positive or negative, okay? And that way, again, you can do a mental check, okay? As long as the slope is positive, I notice that the line should be going upwards like this, okay? If the slope is negative, then the line would just be coming downwards, okay, in this direction. And that's a good way to just check your answer, okay, as you're just graphing out your lines. All right? Okay, so that looks good. And if there are no questions, that does bring this video to an end. Thank you so much for watching. I hope everyone did learn how to graph out using the slope-intercept form, how to graph these different lines. And this is a very important concept, and you should make sure that you do review it on your own. All right. And so one more time, thanks for watching. And I will see everyone in the next video. Thanks. Bye.